This is Ben Doughty for the Hardest Game, joined today by welterweight prospect Eugene McKeever. Good to see you and good to meet you, sir.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thanks for coming down.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, we're at the legendary Fisher Amateur Boxing Club in South London. You're training with Peter McDonough. First question I want to ask you, Eugene. Why did you choose to stay amateur for so long? You had BoxRec alone lists over 100 fights for you, which means you have taken that probably considerably. I know the earliest entry was 2011. Last time you boxed amateur was last year. You're 1-0 currently as a pro. Why so long in the unpaid club?
Enjoyed the amateur ranks. Went through them, went through to all the international competitions. When I was in the Irish team setup, it was just back-to-back competitions, so I was really enjoying the experience. I was getting it at big competitions, and it was just the right time in my life to go pro. I was waiting on a good opportunity to come, and this one arose, so I'm delighted to take it with both hands.
From a chronological perspective, how old are you in a minute?
28.
28. So, when you talk about a good opportunity, because I think a lot of fighters, they think the pros is all paved with gold, and it's not necessarily the case. You were waiting for the right managerial offer and a certain guarantee of what that person could do for you.
Yeah, I was waiting on the right manager, the right coach to come along, and I didn't rush it. I took my time. A lot of fighters that I seen went into the pro game too early, didn't work out for them, but it's an individual sport and you have to do what's best for you and think about yourself.
How different do you feel? I mean, at the minute you've had the one pro fight, 4-round points win, I believe. How different do you think the two codes are in terms of what it demands of you?
As in amateur and pro?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's that much difference. Obviously there's tweaks settling down your feet, planting your feet and getting more power shots off, but overall the currency doesn't change.
For what it's worth, I agree with you. I think some fighters have been convinced to change their style when they and it ended up being a mistake. I remember Tony Jeffries saying he wishes he'd been a bit more bouncy in the pros and used his movement because that's what he was good at. Do you know what I mean?
That's why it's good to have an experienced coach like Peter. He didn't try to change my style, he just looked into them things that he thought I could improve in, different areas of my style that he thought I could improve in that would change in the programme, so that's been a big help.
How did the relationship come about with Peter McDonough?
I met Peter at a boxing event in London, me and him met immediately, and since then we kept in contact over the course of the year, and then I just made the decision to move to London full time and going to Peter's Point. We're having a great time there.
How important do you think it is that a trainer has been in there himself?
Yeah, it's important. Maybe there is some coaches out there that haven't boxed before that are still good coaches, but the experience Peter has in the ring and out of the ring, he understands both sides of it. He knows weight and a fighter's mentality and fight week. He's done it all before, so have someone who's done it before, that experience is definitely a big help.
Saturday night, you're on the big bill, Kakachi versus Dickens at the Dublin 3 Arena. It's quite exciting to be on these big bills as an up-and-coming professional. How much of you is excited by the occasion, and to what extent are you just like, no, I've tunnel vision, I've got a job to do, and I'm not really getting sucked into the...
Nah, I'm soaking in all the atmosphere. 3 Arena, I went there as a kid. I used to be big fan of 3 Arena when I was a kid, and we went there and I always said I wanted to box in that stadium, so to get the chance to walk out in them arenas is unbelievable, so I'll definitely be soaking it all in. I've got a vision on the fight and getting the job done, but I'll be soaking it in.
Do you have an opponent as yet for the...
Yeah, we got a opponent confirmed earlier in the week. I'm very, very confident myself and going to get the job done and do it in style.
How was the pro debut? How did that feel?
It was brilliant to do. There was a bit of nerves. Obviously, you need your pro debut to go well. I went exceptionally well, so to get that first one out of the way, to do that first ring walk, and we won't get into this, just really adds me confidence. I know it's going to make a difference in the performance this time.
Obviously, when people turn over, prospects like yourself with good amateur pedigree tend to fight a handful of journeymen first. I'm aware that you only have for one fight so far, but how is it when you get these guys, slippery survivors, who are perhaps not as busy as some of the fighters usually in the amateurs, and they're more survivalist and more sort of conservative? How does that feel?
Oh, it was fine. I just stuck with boxing. The fella I fought with was very tough tough journey, man. As such, he normally fights people that are like 12-0, 10-0, so to get him in the first fight was great to get that experience, get the rounds with him, and skills pays the bills, so it was no problem.
What do you regard as your proudest achievement in the amateurs, in your long amateur career?
I won my national elite title. I've seen boxers when I was coming up through the ranks, some of the greats that come through and won their national elite titles. So to win 3 of them was a massive achievement, and then obviously to represent Ireland on an international stage was huge for me as well.
What age did you start and have your first amateur bout?
I started boxing when I was 7, and then my first amateur bout was 12, so straight away as soon as I could.
Did you have a hero or something that inspired you to start boxing, or was it already in the family?
The fella that I'm named after, Eugene Martin, he was an Irish champion boxer, and he passed at a young age of 21, so I was named after him. So when I was born, my father called me Eugene. He said, I'm going to get you into boxing at a young age, and I stuck with it, and this is where it's brought me. So in a way, he's my inspiration, and also then obviously looking up at some greats like Muhammad Ali when I was a kid, and some of the big Irish names as well have influenced me.
What do you make of the main event? On the night you've got Jazza Dickens, who was recently-ish elevated to the WBA champion, fighting Anthony Kakachi. I realise there may be a degree of diplomacy involved because you probably know one or both of them to some extent, but do you have a prediction or a feeling about the fight?
I can't call it, to be honest. I can't call the fight. It's a great, exciting fight. It's definitely going to be fireworks. Both men come to fight, so we'll see on the night.
But BoxRec, as is often the case, lists you as a light middleweight or super welter, to use the modern language. But you and your coach Peter just assured me right now that you are a welterweight, in fact. Yeah,
we're in this fight for welterweight, and I'm going to show you that I'm a big welterweight and I'm hitting hard at it.
As you sit beside me now, it's plain to see that you are a big welterweight. Fighters are bigger these days anyway because of obviously the previous day weigh-ins that came in many years ago. How easy do you make 147 pounds?
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a healthy struggle. You know, I get down to a fine, I have nutritionists on board, and we have good training here that all adds to making it an healthy way.
I mean, clearly you don't have to make it for non-title fights anyway, but in the amateurs, was it, I believe 69 kilos was the welterweight limit for a long time in the amateurs. Was that the weight you were used to making?
Yeah, I boxed at 67 as an amateur. I boxed at 70, 71, 69. The weight's changed over the course of a few years, went up and down, so between that 67 to 71 kg, I had great success.
It's an interesting time in boxing right now. The bigger picture, you've got obviously Zuffa is the whole talking point. They're already 4 shows deep. Dana White says he's going to take over, alongside Turki Al-Sheikh and TKO. We've got the old guard, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, who's still hanging in there. Oscar De La Hoya, pretty vocal guy. Are you following that whole kind of story with interest in world boxing?
I'll be watching it obviously, but I think boxing's in the best place it's ever been. You have more organisations coming in, more big names coming in, and it's exciting. Yeah, there's more fans ever watching it. Boxing seems to be the better place than it ever was, so it's very interesting to see what way it unfolds.
It's interesting that you say more fans watching it than ever before, because I'm not sure about how those numbers are broke down, but when Barry McGuigan won the WBA featherweight title June the 8th, 1985 against Eusebio Pedrosa, they say that 18 million people watched that, I believe. Could have even been more, but at least 18 million people watched that on BBC One. I mean, so there's an argument that terrestrial days it was bigger. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that? I know you're thinking I only came for an interview about my fight on Saturday. Where's this geezer going?
I didn't realise it was factual, but no, I think a lot of people thought it was negative, the YouTubers boxing coming into it and all, but it's tough people that's never watched boxing that turn their eyes to the sport and put their focus on it as well. So I'm just saying that boxing's in a better place than it's ever been, as in recently it might have took a dip from the time you're talking about he was fighting. It might have took a dip in fans or crowds or eyes watching it, but now it seems to be on a rise, and long may it last.
Do you see yourself as being a major star and someone that the public would know and identify with in years to come and make a major impact on the sport of boxing?
Yeah, I do see it, but it's not my main focus. My main focus is get my boxing right, getting big wins and showing people what I'm about, and if that comes with it, then so be it.
Well, I wish you the best of luck on Saturday, and I'll be watching with a great deal of interest. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, thank you. Cheers. Appreciate it.